What's good? What's good? It's me, Adriel, right here. And I know what you may be thinking. You're like, Adriel, you always take trades, but you never actually teach us how to take it. Well, don't worry, man. Your questions have been answered because in this video, I'm gonna actually show you my strategy in these markets. It's like a very easy strategy that I've been using for 2 years to be profitable, right? I've been trading for 4 years, but I've been using it 2 years because that's when I turned profitable, right? Because of this strategy. Is it a coincidence? No. And I think it is time for me to show you step by step how to do it in the real market. So essentially, this is the trade that I took yesterday, right? And right now it's weekend, right? It's weekend, so I cannot really take a trade. So I was like, damn, I'm bored. So let me just teach you guys so you can actually, so I'm not just a freaking guy who just makes money and doesn't help the society in any kinds of way. So I'm going to show you literally now how to take this. So first of all, what we have to understand is two things. Simple as that, man. I know what you may be thinking, like two things. Yes, two things what you need to know. You need to know about market trends. So I'm going to teach that. And after that, we're going to know about something very important. So market trends. There's literally an uptrend. Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Simple. What we need to do is follow this trend. If it's going up, we need to buy, right? And if there's a downtrend, low lows, low highs, low lows, low highs, low lows, we need to sell. Right. But the way I took this trade was by a MSS, market structure shift. Because as you can see, it's going up, right? Higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. But all of a sudden it went down. How the hell did I predict that? You may be thinking. Well, because in MSS, we saw that if I go now to the daily time frame, right here, look at this, my friend. What did we take yesterday on session open? This was a high in the daily time frame. Liquidity. Big banks, institutions, and hedge funds, they want to take out liquidity so they can fill their large positions, and that's how they can switch the whole trend direction and movement, right? Okay, that's pretty much the whole meaning behind these markets, what they want to do. They want to take out liquidity, switch the trend, liquidate people out of the markets. But because we're smart, we saw that, right? If I go in here, what do we see? Swept liquidity right here. Trend starts to react from that. How do we know that? Because we see the MSS, market structure shift. We start to create our low lows, lower highs, and low lows. Essentially, how do we spot the liquidity? Well, liquidity rests above highs and below lows, right? High is being created by an up candle, immediately followed by a down candle. Right. This is a high. This has liquidity, but not just, we cannot just see them in everywhere. We have to see them in a higher time frame for them to actually get respected. As you saw, this was a daily time frame high, up candle followed by a down candle. If I go back, let's go to the daily time frame. Look at this. I'm going to quite frankly show you. My friend, look at this. This is right here, an up candle followed by a down candle. They're both closed. That means above here will be liquidity, but not anymore because it got swept, right? What I do, I usually like to find these highs and lows in the 15-minute time frame and up. This time it was daily time frame, so it's very nice, okay? And literally, then we react from that. I'm gonna really soon show you how to how to see the MSS actually, the market shift, the reaction, to know that when to go to the opposite direction, because you cannot just immediately enter after you see liquidity. So you need to see an MSS. I'm going to show you how to do that. But this is a high which has liquidity. Liquidity, my friend. All right, this is liquidity. This is our friend, okay? Most people become liquidity because they do not know about liquidity, right? This is a low. Low is being created by an down candle that is immediately followed by an up candle right here. Low, my friend. All right, I gotta stop being autistic. My bad, guys. Liquidity. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fight these also in the higher time frame, 50-minute and up. This time it was daily time frame, so it wasn't a low. It was a high in the daily time frame, right? But look, this is a low, and now this is the thing. I'm gonna move this a little bit up. Okay, so what happened exactly was we saw the liquidity in the daily time frame. Let's say this is a daily time frame liquidity right here, daily time frame. The fuck, all right. We'll go in uptrend, right? We'll go. Remember, what we do is we focus on the 1 minute time frame. I focus on the 1 minute time frame. I take my trades in the 1 minute time frame, but I spot the liquidities in the higher time frames. Okay, what I do is I see the highs and lows in the higher time frame, in the 50-minute and up. I just mark them to be ready if they get swept, and I focus on the 1 minute time frame. As you can see, 1 minute time frame, the trend: higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Here I would buy, right? But once it takes the liquidity, then we need to go back. Like, we need to just focus on the 1 minute time frame. Again, obviously, I always focus on the 1 minute time frame. These are just, you know, to see the liquidity, right? To see the big move, right? But then in the 1 minute time frame, after liquidity, what we need to see is something called a two breakout structures to the downside. A breakout structure is when in this case, when a down candle body, the fat part of the candle, closes, literally closes, stops moving below the most recent low. Essentially, a down candle followed by an up candle low. I know, but in the lower time frames, it doesn't have much liquidity, so we can essentially just use it as a trend confluence. Guys, I know, may sound like rocket science, but believe me, this is super easy. Okay, down candle body. I'm gonna literally show you. Down candle body right here. Down candle body, as you can see, closes below the most recent low. Again, why is this a low right here? Why is this a low right here? Because this is a down candle followed by an up candle, but it's in the 1 minute time frame, so it doesn't have much power and influence, right? So it closes below that. That's a breakout structure number one, right? But we're not done yet, because it's a market structure shift. We need to see two breakout structures to see the trend movement. So what do we then need to see? Remember, low lows now, lower highs, and a low low. So essentially it creates a new low, down candle followed by an up candle, and then it breaks structure. The down candle body closes again. That's a MSS after liquidity, right? And then what we do, we sell the markets, put the stop loss above the most recent lower high. Remember, low lows, low highs, enter. What we do, we target more liquidity, because liquidity is something that can switch the market trend direction, right? What did I do here? This is a lower low, because the down candle body closes below the most recent low. We got a lower high. We got a lower high, right? And then a down candle body closes below the most recent low again. Breakout structure number two. What we do is we enter right here. I enter right here. What do I target? I target the most recent. I target this liquidity, right? I could have targeted lower. I could have taken like a sniper entry, like a big restore ratio trade, because this is an MSS. Usually I like to do that, but this time it was, we have to understand, we're in summer price action, lower price action, and it was on Friday. Fridays tend to have lower volume, guys. Remember that. Fridays and Mondays. So I was like, okay, 1 to 2.3 reshort ratio, R multiple is good enough for me today. So I made like, how much did I make? 2.7 thousand US dollars, my friend. And the reason why I'm doing this video now, because I want you to also achieve this, because this is very easy. Okay, what you need is some practice, back testing, forward testing, live testing, and my guidance, because that's why I'm here. That's why I created this YouTube channel, to bring some raw content, to really make sure that you understand it. You actually get my guidance, none of those freaking fake gurus. All right, but that's very simple. But listen, my friend, if you really want to know more about this trade, you don't quite believe me, then check the video before this on my channel, on this channel, Adriel Trades. I literally took it live, okay? So you can literally see me take the trade, the P&L moving, profit loss moving, and yeah, man. But man, make sure to follow me on Instagram, AdrielCash7, at AdrielCash7. I'll put it in the link in the description, the tag, so you can follow me there. But man, thank you for watching. As usual, I will see you on the other side. Peace out.